Friends, good morning. It's Freddie Kimmel from the Beautifully Broken podcast. Welcome to my living room in Austin, Texas. We're going to do an unboxing of the NanoVi technology. But before we do, I want to talk about proteins and how important they are. Proteins are everything. They do everything. They run all systems. They do all repair. They're responsible for every single movement and biochemical reaction. And every protein that we have needs to fold into its 3D shape in order for it to do its work. That's where this technology comes in, is involved with cellular repair and recovery. So let's open the NanoVi system and unbox it. I've never done this before, so we'll have a go at it together. Let's go. Oh, this is our case. Yeah, this is beautiful. We have another one of these. So that's it. So we're gonna open this up and explore together. Nasal cannulas. For breathing, we got a bunch extra. Oh, these are great. So we got nasal cannula for friends for days and days and days. Great. Quick start guide, user manual. Read your manuals, don't throw them away. That's for our water, that's for our easy water. It's our power cord with our adapter. This is our full system here. NanoVi Pro, please remove all clear protectant foil before using your NanoVi device. Amazing. All right, team, so you can see how easy that was to unbox. We got everything on the table. So I'm gonna do a setup with you. I've never done this before, but I do have a lovely quick start guide right here. This is really easy to follow along. I'm gonna read the steps, we're gonna do it together, and we're gonna set up a NanoVi. So, number one, pour distilled purified water into a glass container. Make sure the water is between the maximum and minimum levels marked on the container. And then step number two is to screw the glass container into the humidifier. So, we're gonna take the humidifier right here. We're gonna unscrew this by hand. There's so much weight to this, it's very beautifully made. I mean, you can feel like it's an expensive device. So our container, there are my two fill lines right here. I filled my backup container here with my distilled water. I'm gonna get this going. I'm excited, I don't know about you. We'll do that right in the middle. Set that to the side, and then our next step, okay, we're gonna screw this back in. So we're gonna do this by hand, not trying to over tighten. Great, so that's snug. There's our water for our NanoVi. Now we're gonna insert the humidifier into the fitting on the top of the device. The tubes protruding from the humidifier are gonna be inserted into the back here. So these line up perfectly, and we're just gonna do this. And I'm gonna push down, no force, but that is flush, so that's all set to go. Next thing we're gonna do is connect our power cord right here. It's right in the back, and that goes in. Next thing we're doing is we're gonna turn it on. So here we go. Here's our power button. The light is blue, we're ready to go. So the screen is gonna default to 15 minutes, and here's our power button. Push play. One thing I want to show you about the control panel here is we can change the color of this system. There's a color wheel here. We can change to red, to green. I really like this dark blue. We can go back to the home screen as we're moving through the program here, our 15-minute session. So the real question is, what does NanoVi do? And the way I like to explain it is the water vapor coming from the machine has been exposed to an electromagnetic signal, which is creating ordered water. So this is easy water or exclusion zone water, defined by the work of Gerald Pollack. You can go look him up. Fascinating science. And the ordered water is supporting protein folding. A great example I like to think about is that if I take a pristine egg from the farm and I crack it into a bowl, we can see the well-defined yolk and the egg whites on the outside. Now, if I scramble that up with a fork and I cook it in a pan, I've denatured the protein, so it's gonna have a different function. Now, the same thing happens when I jump on a plane, I fly to LA, or maybe I go to the gym and I do some ARX sessions. I create oxidative stress or damage within the body. And my body, to make another copy of me, is repairing all that damage. The ordered water is shown through scientific research to support with that protein folding. So some of the great studies that I've seen online are looking at one of the examples of looking at a 10 to 17% improvement in 3 different immune markers. Now, this is a double-blind, placebo-controlled trial. Other fascinating research I've seen is a 45% increase in restored function of oxidized proteins and a 32% increase in restored function of heat damaged proteins. You start to see what's happening here is that we have a way to repair our cellular mechanism, our proteins every day, and ordered water from NanoVi supports that process. So it's certainly something that I'm excited to have in the home. And what I'll say is I love the device because it stacks so well with life. I can set this next to my computer while I'm on a Zoom meeting. I can set this in the bedroom in my reading nook or while I'm doing a podcast. So even though I might not be able to be outside in the sunshine, walking in nature, receiving all the good electromagnetic signals from the earth and the sun, I can stack it in my daily design with something like NanoVi. If you want to explore this more, you can go to eng3corp.com/Kimmel and you can get a pricing guide on the device and you can get more information. You can download all the research so you can do a little exploring. Wonderful technology, so impressed by the science. I came about this from being in the world of chronic illness, going through Lyme and metastatic cancer and noticing places like the Biomed Center, some of the doctors that I were working with all had NanoVi in their treatment rooms, whether people were doing an IV infusion or it was just a waiting room for people to come in. And I started to see it again and again and again. So when something comes up like 4 or 5 times, the light bulb goes off in my head and says, Freddie, this is something you need to explore and do some more research on, do a little deep dive and ask my experts and peers in the field like Dr. Pompa and Ben Greenfield, why are you guys using this? So here we are today. I hope this was helpful for you. I'll definitely do an update video after I've been using this for a little while, but every time I've used it so far, I've noticed better mental function, mental clarity, definitely improvement in sleep and HRV when I use this about an hour before I go to bed, and it's wonderful to wind down at the end of the day. Big love, Freddie Kimmel from the Beautifully Broken podcast. I'll see you soon.